Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome, Cheap Shot Nation. You're watching Quick Shot Reviews. This is the dedicated movie channel of Cheap Shot Entertainment. I'm your host Luke. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. And today we're going to be looking at Cruella, a delightful super hit, sleeper hit of a film. Really enjoyed this one. Didn't think I would. Never been a big fan of the live action remakes that Disney have been making, but this is definitely not a remake. It uses all of the lore that was made during the 101 Dalmatians animated film a long time ago, but concentrates on Cruella, and this one is really good. If you want to find out my thoughts on it, join me for the main part of the video. So Cruella was directed by Craig Gillespie and was released in 2021 by the Disney Corporation in May. However, obviously not only was it released on Disney Plus where you could buy it, you could also go to the cinema to see it. Now, every time I went to go and book this film, it was completely sold out, and for a very good reason. So I did manage to get it on Disney Plus and watch this film, and it was great from start to finish. It was really good. It follows a young girl named Estella who is clever and gifted with the obviously has the gift of fashion and seamstressness. Is that a word? I don't know. She's very good at making clothes, in other words, and is determined to make it in the fashion world, having come under the tutorship of the Baroness, and she soon creates the name Cruella rather than Estella, and she creates her own brand of clothing, and just at every single turn she outdoes the Baroness, who is the fashion world's super star. Basically doesn't make any of her own clothes, gets all the people to do it for her, and then puts her name on it. Sounds familiar. Anyway, when she's very young, she loses her mum to a very rich person who pushes her off a cliff, and basically she becomes an orphan. So she meets these two young lads, and they create and have a appetite for mischief, basically, and the streets of London are rife with this. It's set in 1970, but Estella has different plans. Like I say, she wants to be a fashionata, and she joins a company as a cleaner, and eventually gets picked up by the Baroness and becomes her right-hand woman, basically. So throughout all of this, you get to see Cruella's journey to that wicked side. She wasn't always wicked, she was just different when she was a child. Always had the two-toned hair as well, which she dyed in order to get a job. And she's hell-bent on revenge for the person who killed her mother and made her an orphan. It stars Emma Stone as Estella, or Cruella, whichever way you want to look at it, and Emma Thompson as the Baroness von Hellman, not the mayonnaise brand, but Baroness von Hellman, the fashion brand. It also stars Joel Fry as Jasper, and he's better known for a Channel 4 show called Plebs, and Paul Walter Hauser as Horace. Those are the two young boys that she meets on the streets of London, grow up together, and they still have that appetite for mischief all the way through this film. It's really, really, really good. Mark Strong is John the valet, Bobby plays Buddy the dog, and Bluebell plays Wink. And both of those characters I've left on the list of characters because they play a crucial part in both the dark side, the background, and the funny side of this film. And let me tell you, pleasantly surprised by this one. It had the right amount of menace, it had the right amount of humour. It was very dark, it was quite light-hearted in places as well. It's everything you come to expect from a Disney film that is actually good, and it's not just a cash grab. Difference with this over previous live action things that Disney have put out is that it's not a remake, it's a reimagining, it's a origin story, and we're following Cruella, and the point is that you really care about this horrible person, and it's done really, really well. 1970s London is done perfectly. The film prevails, and like I say, it's humour. I was laughing all the way through it. I was hooked from start to finish, and for a 2.5 hour film I did have to pause it, which is the bonus of getting it on Disney Plus, to go and use the facilities, because I wanted to see the whole thing. If I was in the cinema, I'd have been crossing my legs, because this film is brilliant, and it's possibly the best film I've seen. Well, it is the best film I've seen so far in 2021. So it's got a script that's connected to the script of the original cartoon, but it makes it slightly different enough to become its own entity, and that is where Cruella really, really shines. Without the shackles of having to remake the cartoon, we've already had a live action remake of 101 Dalmatians. It was pants, but this keeps enough of that lore but makes its own noise, and that is truly what is great about this film. My final verdict is on this one: watch it and get yourself a Dalmatian coat. Don't do that, that is animal cruelty. But you can also get one that's got spots on it as well. But this is great. So yeah, definitely go and watch this one. If you can't find it in the cinema, because I think it's reached the end of its run now, definitely think about purchasing it on Disney Plus. Definitely worth every single penny, this one. So that is my verdict on Cruella, a dark horse that I didn't even think I would like, but I ended up absolutely loving it. I will be buying this on Blu-ray to add to my collection. If you've seen Cruella, let me know what you think on all social media channels. That is Quick Shot Reviews on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook under the title banner of Cheap Shot Entertainment. Of course, this is the movie channel, the dedicated movie channel for that overall brand. I have been your host, Luke. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. If you want to see more of what I thought of 2021's films, now we can go back to the cinema, as well as some others that I've dropped in between, then keep it locked right here on Quick Shot Reviews. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.